Do not despair. That's right. The tarp is coming off the field here at Citi Field, and we should be okay to play baseball tonight. In fact, the tarp is currently covered up down the left field line. NBC Sports Philadelphia, home of the authentic fan, presents the Phils and the New York Mets. All right, so as play begins tonight, the Phillies are 2.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves. They'll start in about an hour out in Arizona. They lost last night to the Diamondbacks. The Mets, meanwhile, are 13.5 games back. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with John Crux. So here we go. The Phils looking to take the second game of this 3-game series. It'll be Noah Syndergaard on the mound, and the Phillies are hoping that Rhys Hoskins can step up like he stepped up last night.
Yeah, Tom, look, we're still in this race. We're close. We keep closing ground on the Atlanta Braves. We can catch him and pass him if Rhys Hoskins continues to swing the bat like he did last night. Bachelor right there, they wanted that ball in where they've been pitching the last couple weeks, where since Rhys has been struggling, that one caught too much of the center of the plate, and Rhys delivered it in the outfield to put us ahead and keep us ahead in that game last night. And I talked to Rhys before the game today, and he said, look, I know Syndergaard is going to try to get in there too. He goes, I have to figure out a way to get him out of there like I did last night, and hopefully he can do that, because you see what happens when he does hit home runs. Phillies win, and that's what we need coming down the stretch these last 3 weeks of September. We need Rhys to be the power guy in the middle of the lineup that he was last night.
Well, last night he was the Toyota turning point. Maybe tonight he's the Toyota turning point again, or maybe it's Zach Eflin. Now, the Phillies also need Zach Eflin to be as good as he was before the All-Star break.
Yes, we do, desperately. And you know, you don't win divisions if you have starters that are struggling, and this is what Zach has done post All-Star break and after the All-Star, or before the All-Star break and after the All-Star break. You see his numbers are just not very good after the break. And Tom, the reason is he's not throwing his four-seam fastball near as much as he was before the All-Star break. It's a power pitch at 97 miles an hour. He has to establish that tonight against this Mets lineup, and if he does, then he can go to the other stuff to record their outs. Establish the four-seamer first, so Tom, and he'll have success.
Yeah, last time out he did throw the changeup a lot more. He threw it nearly 20% of the time, which was a huge uptick from the previous starts. All right, so tonight it's game number 2 of this 3-game series. It'll be Eflin opposed by Noah Syndergaard, who pitched really well his last time out against the Giants. When we return, we'll go to the NBC Sports Philadelphia studios. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. By Toyota, tested, trusted Toyota. Let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. By Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. And by Independence Blue Cross, live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com. The Phillies came out earlier today to do some stretching, and the Mets were doing some early BP. Time for our Coors Light refreshing finish, and we take a peek at Noah Syndergaard, his last outing against the San Francisco Giants. John, it seemed like he turned it up a notch as the game went on.
Yeah, I was told that he found something in the 6th inning mechanically, and he said from the 6th inning on, he was just he was the Noah Syndergaard of old. A complete game. You see that one run, only 2 hits, 11 strikeouts, and look, you know, when he's right, he's one of the best in the game, and the Phillies have their work cut out for him, not only today, but tomorrow with what some think is a leading candidate for the Cy Young Award of Jacob deGrom.
Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Well, you see 1 and 2 are a little different because Santana, for the 2nd time this week, is over at third base, and Bohr will start over at first. That may not last the entire game. Ramos hits third, and then Rhys Hoskins, 21 of his 28 home runs this season, have either tied or given the Phillies a lead. 16 have given the Phillies a lead. They will face Syndergaard, who comes in with a record of 10-3, an ERA of 3.5, at 128 strikeouts and 121 2/3 innings. You know, they've got what you would call a big three because of the way Wheeler's throwing. Obviously, deGrom is a Cy Young candidate, if not the Cy Young Award winner, and they have Syndergaard. So they have 3/5 of a rotation that's pretty darn solid.
Yeah, and this guy Syndergaard might have the best stuff of all of them as far as just raw power. You see the average fastball velocity, 97.5. He will get it up to 100 if he needs it. Change, curve, slider. You see his numbers against the Phillies, 4-2, 2.60, but we did manage to beat him the last time we faced him in Philadelphia, and one of the keys of that game was running. You can run on Noah Syndergaard. I don't know if any one of the first 3 guys we have in the lineup are going to take off, but that's one of the reasons why Tomas Nido is catching. He has probably the best arm of any of the catchers on the Mets roster right now.
Yeah, he's thrown out 28% of the guys trying to steal this year. And the first pitch of the night is a fastball outside. We're underway as the rain falls. And the count is 0-1, or 1-0, I should say. Santana 1 for 4 last night with a huge 2-run home run. We may play the first few innings in the rain. The way the radar looks, that fastball comes in at 98 miles an hour, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, the last thing you want to hear with a guy that throws as hard as Syndergaard does is in the 6th inning of a game, his last start, he found something, which is, thank you for informing us about that.
Bouncing ball foul, and it's 1-2 to Santana. We take a look at our Nissan upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. And Santana, during the 9-game hitting streak, is 12 for 36, but he's got some power numbers that I think everybody's pretty happy to see. His RBI total is up to 81. Bouncer back to the mound. Syndergaard has it, 1 away, as he leads Jay Bruce to the bag. And here comes Justin Bohr.
Well, it is college football Saturday, Tom, you know, and sometimes you have to lead your guy where you want him to go.
Yeah, and he and deGrom were out throwing footballs the other day.
Who was that who just got hurt doing that? They had hit in the eye.
Oh, I saw the video on it. Yes,
I saw the video. We were just talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, I did see the video. I forget who it was, but I did see the video. Here's Justin Bohr, who's hitting .208 with the Phils, and he takes outside. 5 for 17 against Syndergaard. Outside corner. Apparently it was David Hess from the Orioles.
Because I remember when we were there, their pitchers do, that's part of their conditioning. Instead of just running for no reason, they throw a football, and that's their running program, which makes sense till you get hit in the eye.
1-2. It's all fun and games until somebody pokes out an eye.
It's amazing, isn't it? How many times I heard that growing up with 3 brothers. Boy, put that ball down in the house. Someone's going to get hurt. Blood everywhere.
Here's the 1-2 to Bohr. And a swing and a miss. Threw him a changeup at 91. So 2 outs here in the first. And that'll bring Wilson Ramos to the plate.
Well, you see it coming out of his hand. Look at the spin running away from Bohr. And look, there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry. You can say, oh, you got to go out and hit that ball the other way. Okay, but he's throwing 98. Good luck.
Yeah, his changeup, like a lot of hard-throwing pitchers, his changeup is more like the everyday fastball for some guys. Wilson Ramos fouls one off. Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire. Carlson behind home plate. Will Little at first. Lance Barksdale at second. Right off the side of the mask. Balls and 2 strikes to Ramos. He was a pinch hitter last night. He singled. Outside. He's got a pretty live fastball tonight, John.
Yes, he does, and it could be because of the mechanical issues that he straightened out in San Francisco, or against San Francisco. They were out there, right? They would San Francisco Dodgers come back here.
Yeah, they won 4 of 6 games. Outside again, 2-2. Even though the Giants are having a down year, anytime you go out west from the Eastern Division teams and you win 2 series, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like you said, though, that 99 there, he's might be getting loose. But like you said, though, you know, when you have this guy, DeGrom, Wheeler, you know, you have a chance to win. If they're pitching well, you have a chance to win every series you're playing.
And ball 4. Ramos draws a 2-out walk. He missed in pretty much the same spot with the last several pitches. And that'll bring Rhys Hoskins up.
See Rhys wearing the sleeves. It's autumn in New York.
Amazing that it was about 100 degrees on Thursday. That was the giveaway tonight. He didn't just bring that with him, but he's going to put it to use. Hoskins out to right center field, and it's playable for Conforto and Nimmo. It's Nimmo who makes the call finally, and the catch. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Zach Eflin ready to go to work when we return. Quietly in their half of the first. Let's take a look at the Mets lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Ahmed Rosario is back in the starting lineup for the Mets. Then Jeff McNeil and Michael Conforto. And Jay Bruce hit the ball hard in every at-bat he had last night. 3 home runs, a .561 slugging percentage in 12 games since returning from the disabled list, and they will face right-hander Zach Eflin. Eflin 9-6 with a 4.05 ERA. His overall numbers don't tell the whole story. A very good first half up until the All-Star breaks. It's been troublesome since the All-Star break for Zach Eflin.
Yeah, it has, Tom, and that's just, you know, look, this is the time of, he understands he probably only has 3 to 4 starts left, depending on, you know, how Gabe wants to go, you know, with the rotation, but probably 4 starts left, and, you know, this is where it's leave it all out there, and, you know, you got to, you know, this team has to try to win every single game from here on out, and I think some of the starting pitchers understand that if they struggle early with the 40-man roster, there are going to be a lot of guys come up.
Yeah, in fact, Gabe alluded to that again today. They've added one more player to the roster, not a pitcher, but they added one more position player, and only because he even felt last night that they were a little short if the game went into extra innings because he used so many guys. So Mitch Walding is up from AAA. But in the bullpen, you got Austin Davis that could be a long guy. You've got Jared Eichhoff that could be a long guy. Breaking ball 2-2.
I saw Jared throw in Wednesday after the game in Miami. He was out in the bullpen throwing after the game.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Rosario, who's owned the Phillies this year. And he fouls it away.
Well, that's been the pitch he struggled with, though, the breaking ball. It seems like every time we threw him a fastball, the last series in Philly, he hit a rocket somewhere. But he will chase the breaking ball out of the strike zone, especially with 2 strikes.
There's a fastball, just missed.
I think he thought it was, too.
He was about to head to the dugout. Take a look. Pitch cast presented by PJ Wheelahands. It's a little off. That was a fastball. He blew right by him with some heavy sink on it. And 1 out here in the first. And John, you mentioned in the pregame how he's limited the use of his 4-seamer. Well, not in this first at bat.
No, that was one right there. He got to the side of a little bit, and that's why it ran. But it didn't sink. It just ran basically like a screwball looking thing at 95 or whatever. Just threw it right past Rosario, and that he has to establish that pitch, Tom. You know, everything works off 4-seam fastball, strike 1. There you go.
And like a lot of power pitchers, you can see his 4-seamer is anywhere between 94 and 97, and then the 2-seamer is in the low 90s. But 47% of the time he'll throw the 4-seamer. Those numbers are down over his last several starts. 0-2 to McNeil. 1 for 4 last night with a double and an RBI.
But we've seen a lot of these Mets hitters struggle with the off-speed stuff. Reyes has struggled with it. Nemo yesterday against Aaron struggled. Of course, that's a pretty special breaking ball. Rosario struggled with it. Michael Conforto, who's on deck, has struggled with it. With you know, when we throw off-speed pitches.
And a foul tip, and that's another strikeout for Zach Eflin. So 2 strikeouts to start the ball game. Michael Conforto's coming up.
And another 4-seamer up. You see McNeil tried to check, and you know, if he had a little bit smaller barreled bat, Tommy probably be seeing another pitch right now, but he uses that big old U1.
That ball's hit sharply, but right into the shift. Hernandez is up with it, and that's a really clean inning for Zach Eflin. We've played 1. We'll go to the 2nd. No score. Monday for 3 games. All 3 games are at 7:05. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. What an eventful couple of days they've had down in D.C. They're actually playing a day-night doubleheader that's the first game is leaking into the start time for the second game because they had rain again down in D.C. Cabrera sends one to the air to center field, and Nimmo will go back. And 1 out. Nick Williams is coming up. Let's check in with Murph. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. You know, we're talking about Noah Syndergaard and what he was doing in August, excuse me, and what he was able to do in his first start in September. He had a really rough patch in the month of August. He said he was happy that they were able to turn the corner. This was his quote after his last start in August. He said, "I just feel like every 5 days I'm going out there, I'm wasting my ability to throw a baseball. My stuff's too good to go out there, give up 4 runs in 6 innings with the 9 hits. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense." So his first start in September, the one you were talking about that happened in San Francisco where he pitched a complete game, he said after the game he really just stopped fighting himself. He said he tried to stop thinking about mechanics. And John, as you pointed out, he figured something out midway through that game, mechanical. But I guess when he let those thoughts go and he just went out there and used his athleticism, he was able to figure some things out. So he is obviously coming off one of his best starts of the season, which, you know, you hope will go back the other way if you're a Phillies fan, certainly.
Absolutely. I mean, the first inning plus here, you can see that he's got some stuff. In fact, both guys look like they've got some stuff in the first inning. Williams down looking on strikes. That's the second strikeout for Syndergaard. That was just a straight fastball. 2 outs. I don't know if he tried to put a triangle up in pitch cast.
I've noticed with Nick lately, it looks like his head's starting to lean over more to the plate, and I think that's why he's questioning a lot of calls that are strikes.
So getting into a bad habit.
Yeah, it's like he's leaning forward instead of, you know, his stride going toward the pitcher. His body's leaning forward, it looks like.
0-1 to Cesar. And Hernandez fouls it off. Hernandez was 0 for 3 last night with a couple strikeouts. Outside. He's thrown 15 fastballs, a variety of fastballs, sinker, four-seamer.
It's working.
It's working. And a breaking ball, 2-2. That's the curve.
I don't know if I'd feature that one just yet if I'm Syndergaard. We haven't shown we can hit the fastball yet, or his fastball, that's for sure.
Off the end of the bat, flared out towards center. That's going to be a base hit for Cesar Hernandez. And that's the first hit of the night for the Phillies.
Yeah, now here's the issue. You know you can steal off of Syndergaard, but if Cesar steals right now, you walk
Odubel
and you get Eflin.
Would you still take that chance?
No.
Though? No?
I wouldn't take the bat out of Odubel's hand. I mean, you know, he has the ability to hit it, you know, hit the ball in a gap.
Or out of the ballpark.
We were talking about before the game, how many National League hitters hit 8th have 21 homers? I'd say not many would be my guess. Of course, now he didn't hit them all, hit in 8th. I understand that.
No, but it's true.
I mean, if you want to do it and you run Cesar, you know, just to get to Zach, if they walk Odubel, just to turn the lineup over, that could be.
The guy with the most home runs hitting 8th is Dansby Swanson, who's done it 73 times this year. And he's hit 10 home runs. Now, Dansby Swanson hasn't only hit 8th, as John alluded to. He has 14 overall. But it's a good point.
Pretty good thump at the bottom of your order.
Yeah, Yasiel Puig has 16. He's had some games hitting 8th, which I'm shocked by. But he's had 29 games where he's hit 8th. Oh, 0-2 to Herrera. There goes Hernandez. Pitches outside. The throw to second is a little high. And a stolen base for Cesar, his 18th of the year. But that was almost like a pitch out, too.
Yeah, it was. A ball up and away for Nito. Good pitch to throw on. It just, like you said, Syndergaard slow, and the throw was up. His throw to second was high. See how high Rosario had to go, and no chance to get Cesar. Now, you know, if you're a double, here's what's the issue now. You know, you got 4 pitches he can put you away with.
Down the right field line, foul. I think the umbrella came in handy. At least softened the blow a little bit. And now they're going to walk Herrera intentionally, just what you alluded to.
It's his new bat. He's already got the pine tar on. He's getting ready to walk back to home. And nah, you don't need that thing anymore.
Let me ask you something, though. Would you have done that?
I think I would have thrown something out of the zone, knowing that over the past month or so, Odubel has chased a lot of pitches, especially changeups, out of the zone. But maybe they didn't want to leave that responsibility to Syndergaard and just, we'll take it away from you, and now you go get Eflin.
Eflin hitting 108 with 1 home run.
I think after 2 strikes, you got to try 1 changeup, don't you? Away.
I think your thought is right on, is to even throw 1. I mean, I'm glad that they did it. Lineups turned over, but throw 1 out of the zone and see if he goes fishing for it. Just from a baseball standpoint.
Yep. You know, maybe that's.
Oh, 2.
You know, if I was a Met player, I would be thinking, wow, they don't think we can score off Zach Eflin.
Now, they may get Eflin out here. And
yeah.
I mean, the odds are in their favor that they would.
But wouldn't you like to see Eflin? I mean, how many pitchers you talk to that, you know, when the pitcher's leading off, I feel like it should be an easy inning.
Mm-hmm. Swing and a miss after a high fastball. So he gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. The Phillies get their first hit, and they leave a couple. We'll move on to the bottom of the second. No score between the Phils and the Mets. Brought to you by T-Mobile. John, the ever-popular Nick Rickles with a bloop base hit last night that gave the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs a little life. in the International League playoffs. They won it 3-2, a final score in 13 innings. They had a great crowd last night. They've got a crowd of about 5,000 tonight at Coca-Cola Park. That game is underway. We'll update you on what's going on in the postseason for Lehigh Valley during our minor league report a little later on. We can tell you they're trailing 1-0 at this point. Doesn't matter what level it is, you get mobbed like that.
You gotta love it.
Yep.
He is a funny guy, though, isn't he?
He is.
Well, we know what happened last night on the first pitch. Aaron Nola threw to Jay Bruce. Fastball, he hit in the seats. So you know he's going to attack Zach Eflin the same way. Try to get him early.
Bruce has homered in back-to-back games. And first pitch inside. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. And a line drive to right field, and that'll drop for a hit.
Ruben's laughing.
Ruben's got some protective goggles on there, John, just in case there's a problem.
Well, in case it starts sleeting or hailing, Tom, he'll be covered. That pesky sleet sometimes 70 degrees can really get irritating to the eyes.
Here's Todd Frazier. Frazier, 16 homers and 53 runs batted in. I said to him today, I said, pretty good plays you made at third base last night, including the one on Hoskin. He said, yeah, that one bothered my back a little bit when I hit the ground.
Well, he's an old man now, isn't he? In today's game?
He is getting up there.
Was he actually going to try to bunt?
I don't think he was. Well, maybe he was, because Santana's playing third, thinking he'd test him a little bit.
I think where Cesar's playing up the middle and Bohr having to hold him on, he was trying to. I think he looked like he might have tried to punch it through that hole. Look at that. I mean, there's a lot of room, Tommy. Well, I guess we won't see it.
Breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, it's a smart play if he can do it. But again, I'm sure he does. I mean, but look at, you got Bohr right here holding Jay Bruce on, and Cesar, second baseman's here. I mean, look at that. That's a lot of room. If he can just get it there and get it past Eflin.
And he's hit by a pitch. That'll put runners on first and second. I think that got Ramos as well.
Well, it's going to make him forget about his bad back. It looked like a 2-seamer that just ran and got him. Well,
lower abdomen just grazed it.
Yeah, let's go with that. Lower abdomen. I don't think that hurt him. That might have right there, the balancing act, but he's from the Great Garden State, Tom. He's tough.
That's right. And now Nimmo is up 0 for 3 last night. Phillies corners were in. The first pitch a strike, and it's 0-1.
You've got to respect the fact that possibly the bunt could be on.
Carlos Santana on the edge of the grass at third. Santana, by the way, made some pretty nice plays the other night in Miami.
Yeah, first ground ball, he kind of cast it a little bit. Justin Bohr helped him out, coming off the base and making a tag. But the rest of the plays were like he's been there forever. Nice diving play to get a force out at second. We haven't seen him have to come in though on a ball like Franco's really good at it.
Oh, the changeup, and it's 2-1. He's thrown a lot of changeups in the first couple innings.
I think I'd go back to that fastball in. We saw Nimmo hit a go-ahead home run in Los Angeles long at bat, and he finally got a breaking ball, and he hit it out like he was looking for it.
He tried the fastball in and it missed. Looked like it was a pretty good spot, but now it's 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second.
You gotta go back to that fastball, don't you?
He went with a breaking ball. A slider, and that loads the bases up. Are you an authentic fan? Well, of course you are. Put your fandom on display at the final NBC Sports Philadelphia Authentic Fan Night on Tuesday, September 18th versus the Mets. Go to Phillies.com/authentic-fan to grab a free Phils hat and discounted tickets to the game. Well, now Dominic Smith will be the hitter with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the second. Phillies look like they're going to concede a run if the ball's hit toward the middle. Actually, if Smith hits it to the left side, it's going to go right into left field.
And anything hit to Asdrubal Cabrera's left, he's, you know, where he's playing right here, if it's hit anywhere over in here, you're not going to turn to double play.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes. It's 0-2.
Close enough.
I'd go fastball again.
Absolutely, Tom. Up. That four-seamer up that that Zach gets a lot of strikeouts with.
He goes changeup.
There we go. Tell you what, we are two of the worst guest hitters right now in all of baseball.
Yeah, we'd be on the bench.
Yeah, we would.
Well, you'd probably adjust. I'd be on the bench.
I'd be on the bench too.
Dominic Smith homered in last night's game the opposite way. He went around on that slider. And that'll be the first out. Third strikeout for Eflin. Now that's a big one because now you've got the number 8 hitter and then Syndergaard, who's a good hitting pitcher, but he's up after that.
He used the young man's aggressiveness against him, and look, Dominic Smith knows he's playing for his Mets career. Maybe, you know, if he has a good month of September, he could break the, you know, open up the season as their starting first baseman. Playing left field in this one, but you know he's going to be aggressive because he wants to drive in those runs, and they use that against him.
That ball's hit sharply inside the third base bag down the left field line. One run is in. Frazier will score. Nimmo's around third. He's heading home, and he's going to score. It's a 3-run double, and the Mets are on top 3-0.
What was that pitch? I couldn't tell what that pitch was. It was something off speed, and Nito just hits it right by Cabrera. No, or Carlos Santana. No chance for him to make that play. And you know, with Nimmo's speed at first base and how that ball was rolling around the fence, 3 easy runs scored.
And Syndergaard takes a strike.
You know, I was talking to. They say it's a slider, but wasn't a good one. I think Zach will tell you that himself. It was just a hanger.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm surprised they don't make Syndergaard wear an elbow guard.
That's a good point.
Exposed right arm and nothing. I know DeGrom wears one when he hits.
Broke his bat, and it'll be a foul ball down the right field line, and it's 1-2. You got to see your way through this and keep this at a 3-run game. Tonight's ball game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. So we're going to miss. Actually, it may have been a foul tip, but either way, it's a strikeout for Eflin, his 4th. And now Ahmed Rosario, who struck out his first time up. He's still hitting .390 against the Phils this year.
You got to be careful with the first pitch. Throw him a fastball first pitch. He's going to try to do some damage with it.
Ito leads off second. The slider hit out towards shallow left center field. Odubel's there, and he makes the catch. So a 3-run double by Tomas Nido has given the Mets a 3-0 lead. We're on to the 3rd. Phils have some ground to make up. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, John, the question is, who led the 1986 World Champion Mets in hits, doubles, and runs scored? Hits, doubles, and runs scored. Are you doing a wedding march or something?
Well, there was a wedding at the hotel when we were out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's funny because Vince said he wanted to go photo bomb the wedding pictures, but we talked him out of that. But yeah, I don't know why that was on my mind. I don't know. Their best hitter. I know who their best hitter was.
All right, well. There's a line drive by Santana, base hit to right field. So Carlos is aboard to lead off the 3rd. And that'll bring Justin Bour up.
Well, you know, you can look at it 2 ways, Tom. You know, look, Thor's not going to give up 4. He rarely gives up 4. So
get a couple from him and then
score 3, tie it up, and try to get the bullpen. You don't have to score 4. one big one here would help.
Outside, 1-0. Bohr has 9 home runs lifetime against the Mets. He is 5 for 18 against Syndergaard.
Bohr versus Thor, huh?
Bohr versus Thor. Ground ball to shortstop. That might be 2. There's 1 and 2. And that was just a sinker toward the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, it just runs away from Justin Bohr. And, you know, the last thing you want to do is get 2 strikes against a guy like Syndergaard. So you become a little more aggressive. And, you know, normally they play a big shift on Bohr. Guess they knew something.
Yeah, Rosario was as close to his normal shortstop position that you'd see a guy against Justin Bohr. Right now, Rosario is playing straight up at shortstop.
You think pitchers are creatures of habit? So Jay Bruce, you know, after the ball, he caught the ball at first. He threw it into the stands.
Ground ball to third. That's a fair ball down the left field line. And Ramos will truck into second base with a stand-up double.
That's a slider, break curveball or something. And you know, look, you're setting on 97 to 100. You're going to get out in front of those pitches, and that's the beauty of having a guy that keeps his bat in the strike zone for a long time and thinks the other way. A pull hitter pulls that ball foul.
Hoskins flied out to right center field his first time up. Fastball 0-1.
So anyway, so Jay Bruce throws the ball out after the double play, and they handed the ball to Nido. The umpire hands the ball to Nido, and he's going to throw it to him. And Syndergaard's pointing, throw it to third. I guess that's where he gets the ball from, you know, when they throw it around the horn. So he had to throw it to Frazier. Frazier had to throw the ball to him. Beautiful thing.
In the dirt, 1-1. Well, Hoskins last night provided us with our giant home run replay.
And it was just mislocation. We talked about it, how they're trying to pitch Reese in, hard in, and then try to get him to chase away. And Bachelor just didn't get it there, and Reese beat him to the spot. And we needed it badly, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Fastball 2-1, a little low. Here's pitch gas presented by PJ Wheelahans. Right at the bottom of the zone.
All right, we'll take it.
Yes, sir. Boy, center cut one right here. He's 3-1. You know, it's easier said than done. And ball 4. So Hoskins walks. All right, so the Phillies have had some base runners the first 3 innings. They have 3 hits and there have been 3 walks. This Hispanic Heritage Month, MLB and the Philadelphia Phillies are celebrating the many ways Latinos put an accent on baseball. Share how you put an accent on the game with hashtag Ponle Acento. Ponle Acento. In fact, before the ball game tonight, the Mets presented Steven Matz with the Roberto Clemente Award. He is the representative for the Mets. Rhys Hoskins, rightfully so, is the representative for the Phillies. There's Asdrubal Cabrera, who flied out to center. And he takes low, 1-0.
Here's the thing, you know, he makes a mistake right here. Asdrubal pops one. It's a whole new game.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't think Syndergaard is as sharp as he was in San Francisco, and you know, part of the reason why is, you know, we don't have guys that hit for higher average. We got guys who can hit home runs, though.
Inside it low, 2-0.
So he has to be a little more careful. Here's where you just, if you're Asdrubal Cabrera, you're looking for a certain zone, but you don't want to get yourself out. You know, if he throws you a pitch you can handle and you pop it up or hit a hard line drive at someone, or you know, nothing you can do. But
here are the last 4 starts for Syndergaard against the Phils. His ERA 4.34. It's kind of what we alluded to earlier. Over 9 hits per outing the last 4. Two and 1 to Asdrubal Cabrera. 3-1.
Said, you know, you have a team that, like the Giants, who don't hit a ton of home runs. You know, you get to this point, you can throw a fastball away, and you know, not a whole lot they can do with it. And like I said, it's different. Our team is different because, like I said, you know, throughout our lineup, we got guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark,
including Cabrera, who has 23 home runs this year.
Well, 24 and 77 would look good, wouldn't it?
Beautiful. And that's ball 4. The bases are now loaded. Dave Island is heading out to the mound. 4 walks issued by Syndergaard in tonight's game, and you've got Nick Williams coming up. Now, despite the fact he went down looking on strikes his last time up, I don't think there's any question that Nick Williams is a dead fastball hitter, and will no doubt get one at least to start this at bat. I don't know how you approach this, though, John. Do you let him throw a strike first?
No.
Yeah, because you don't want to get behind on him.
No, and you know, normally when a pitching coach goes out to talk to him, what's he saying? Yeah, hey, let's go. We got to get ahead of these guys. You got to get ahead. Well, what do you get ahead with?
Fastball.
Fastball. And you know, Nick took some pitches last at bat, but I guarantee if he throws a fastball Nick can handle, he's going to swing at it. Whether he gets a hit or not, that's who knows. But I would think if I'm Nick Williams, if he throws a first pitch fastball, I'm letting it go.
4 walks tonight by Syndergaard matches his season high.
Not letting it go as far as letting it go to the catcher.
Let your swing go.
I'm letting my swing go.
With the bases loaded, Williams is ready to go. And a breaking ball lifted in the air to right field. It's not deep, but it's playable for Conforto. And the inning is over. So the Phils, they threaten. They do not score. Syndergaard has left 6 through the first 3 innings tonight. We'll head on to the bottom of the 3rd. Brought to you by Nissan. ShopChooseNissan.com. Now we move to the bottom of the third inning here at Citi Field. The Mets lead the Phillies 3-0. Noah Syndergaard worked out of a bases loaded jam when he got Nick Williams to swing at a breaking ball and fly out to right field. I think Williams was thinking the same thing, John, you mentioned. Pitching coach comes out.
Yeah.
Going to get a fastball.
Yeah, and that's, you know, he just got out in front of it a little bit, hit it off the end of the bat.
Jeff McNeil struck out his first time up. And he starts him off with a breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
I don't think it's breaking any great grounds here if we say we have to keep him right there.
No question.
I think McNeil just missed an opportunity to get on.
I didn't know if he was trying to sell it that he was hit when he turned back toward the umpire. Ground ball to first, past the diving Bourne, down the right field line. And he's going to at least get to second base. He's thinking about third. He's on his way to third, and Williams missed the cutoff man. Four triples this year for McNeil. How about their 2 extra base hits tonight have been really ground balls right past the corner man.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, though, I mean, he was being waved and then he was being held, and by that time it was too late. But you know, Bohr with a great effort. No, nothing you can do about that. But you know, the one thing you can't control in this whole thing is hitting the cutoff man, and Nick didn't do it. And not saying we would have got McNeil either way, but you see he started to slow up. He was being waved, then he was held. If he hits a cutoff man, we got a really good shot at it.
Really good shot. Because look at the throw by Cabrera. By the time it bounced up to Santana, McNeil had just finished his slide. One of the Conforto is swung out and missed. 1-1. A lot of changeups in there.
Yeah, it's, you know, I understand throwing breaking balls, but man, he's got too good a fastball not to. You know, he might, maybe this is one of those, I'm going to pitch careful to him and see if he can get himself out.
Change up hit toward third, picked on the hop by Santana. High throw. Bohr grabs the bag. And the ball came out after his foot was off the bag.
Yeah, they're holding. Mickey Callaway's holding, and they're taking a look at it. Gary DiSarcina there on the phone, right? Nope, we're going to go on.
He was already coming off.
Transfer.
Jay Bruce singled his last time.
Think about walking Bruce.
Face Frazier, maybe get a double play. Get righty on righty. It's not a bad idea the way Bruce has been. I know he only has 2 hits in the first 2 games, but we've mentioned it. He's hit a lot of baseballs hard.
Yes, he has. And he hits a lot of balls in the air.
Went around on that breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. you go, John. They're going to walk him intentionally.
Gave him a couple pitches to see if he'd get himself out. Very smart move. Set up the double play with Frazier.
September baseball is underway. Don't miss your chance to see the Phillies at home with the Student Deal. A $15 ticket plus a voucher for $12 for something at Ashburn Alley like Chickies and Pete's Crab Fries, Bull's Barbecue, Tony Luke's, Hatfield Hot Dog and Coke. Limited quantity of tickets available for select games here in September. Go to Phillies.com/StudentSdeal for more information. So now Frazier. And Frazier takes the first pitch, a breaking ball low.
We got a Santana here has to be on his toes, because Frazier, he can hit the ball the other way, but he's predominantly a pull hitter. Really hits with his top hand a lot. It's a lot of grounders to third. So Santana's got to be ready.
It's fouled back just below us. So we get a foul tip. Frazier's hit it to 10 ground ball double plays this year. The Mets leader is the Phillies shortstop. It's Drupal Cabrera. Trying to get a fastball by him.
And here's where if he, all right, we sped him up a little bit now. Let's see if we can strike him out with a breaking ball. The thing you have to worry about is where Santana's playing. Frazier hits a swinging bunt down the third baseline. Might be able to get one, but I don't think you're going to get McNeil at home. And that's the one we got to keep from scoring.
In the air to left field. That ball was a hanger, and it is crushed. A 3-run home run for Todd Frazier. And it's now 6-0 Mets. Well, that's 17 home runs now for Frazier. He was ahead, but he left the breaking ball really right out over the plate.
Yeah, it was, the effort of trying to get it down and away. You see Ramos, and anytime you see a breaking ball and the catcher has to reach back toward the hitter, you see where Ramos wanted it. You have to reach back towards the hitter. Unless it's way in, it has a chance to get hit far, and that one was a far one, and now
that hurts.
Yeah, that's but here's the thing, their bullpen hasn't been great, really. Syndergaard's almost 50 pitches after 3, so get him out at 6 innings or get to the bullpen, and you never know. We're due for a big comeback win, aren't we?
Absolutely. It hasn't happened. Reese says he has it. He looked at Odubel to see where he was, and he makes the catch for the second out. 2 away here in the third. And now Dominic Smith. He went down on strikes his first time up.
that Eichhoff warming up?
That
It
is
looks like
Eichhoff,
it.
yep.
Yeah.
3 balls, no strikes. There's Jared. Trying to come all the way back from a handful of different issues with his arm. The tingling in his fingertips. The soreness in his arm overall. Inside ball 4, so he just walks Smith. And that'll bring Tomas Nido to the plate. Rick Kranitz heading out to the mound.
Not sure this is going to be a fun conversation for Zach.
I think that the tough part about it is that we saw glimpses of what could be.
Yes.
With Zach Eflin. And I don't think it's overstating it at all, because he was in some ways dominant.
I mean, you know, you're talking about the, you know, at the All-Star break, you know, we talked about it in our office before. Like if the playoffs started now and the Phillies were in, who's your third pitcher? You know, it's going to be
no question.
Aaron and Jake 1-2. Who's third?
We all said Eflin.
We all said Eflin.
And I don't think we were off either because of how well he pitched. There's a pitch in there for strike 0-1 to Nido.
Look at the pitches that have hurt him. Slider to Nido that hung, and a slider to Todd Frazier that hung.
Swing and a miss at a fastball at 94, 1-2. Swing and a miss. So a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the inning is over, but the damage is done. Todd Frazier, a 3-run home run, his 17th of the year. He was ahead of Frazier, and he knew it as soon as he left his bat. We'll go to the 4th. It's 6-0 New York. All your shipping messages get noticed. And WB Mason delivers the same day when you order by 11:30. Local service personalized. By who? But WB Mason. Phillies trail at 6-0. As we move to the 4th inning. It'll be Cesar Hernandez, Odubel Herrera, and then possibly a pinch hitter for Zach Eflin. We'll see what Gabe decides to do. Phillies do have one piece to what would normally be a lineup piece, particularly the way he's swinging the bat, in Roman Quinn, who is unavailable again tonight, Murph. And we've come to find out a little bit more about Roman's injury and what he's dealing with.
Yeah, he had an X-ray done today, and they noticed a non-displaced fracture in his little toe on his right foot. And it's a painful injury. There was some swelling, and he was having some tenderness and trying to walk on it. That said, it's not an injury that can get any worse, so they are saying that it is as tolerated. So as soon as Roman Quinn believes that he can, put pressure on that foot, enough pressure to go out there and get the job done, then he will be available. It is not out of the question that they could use him tonight in a particular situation. What that situation would be, maybe to lay down a bunt or something like that. He is available in that regard, but most likely we will not see Roman Quinn for the next day or two, because he's still going to let that heal a little bit until he can tolerate the pain. Once he can tolerate the pain, he'll be able to play.
Yeah, and as Gabe alluded to today, Cesar Hernandez went through a similar thing about a month and a half or so ago. We talked about that. So this is the injury. We thought it happened on a foul ball, but it happened on this hit by pitch from Sandy Alcantara. Painful. There's a high bouncer over the head of Frazier by Cesar, and he's now 2 for 2.
No signs yet of a pinch hitter, but I don't see Zach getting a helmet on either. See, I thought I saw J.P. Crawford down there stretching. And now Maikel Franco's over there running to get a.
That's a good sign that he's able to swing the bat in a game. Outside, and it's 1-0 to Herrera.
Well, sometimes I think when you have, especially your wrist hand, you just want to make sure that there's nothing wrong, and it can get worse. And I think after he had the MRI, what, Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday, I think he went home early, right? And they said that you're good to go. And
there's a, oh man, how about that? Line drive right to Bruce and a double play. Second double play for Syndergaard.
Now the change comes. Michael goes back, and I mean, nothing Cesar could do. What do you do? Even if he goes back immediately, it's nothing you can do. I mean, he took one little jab step. It just, ball was hit too hard for him to do anything.
Yeah, you have to take a secondary lead.
But now we got JP coming up.
So Crawford will pinch hit. That's it for Eflin after 3 innings. And JP fouls it back. It's 0-1. Hitting .194 this year in the big leagues. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, I saw him earlier and asked him how he was feeling. He said finally healthy.
Outside and low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, earlier this year it was his throwing arm that was bothering him, then the broken bone.
Tell you what I've noticed, he's closer to home plate. Remember how far away he was?
Hands are a little different too, John.
A little lower.
Now toward left field, Dominic Smith, J.P. Crawford's old buddy. He puts it away, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left for Syndergaard. All right, so we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Jared Eichhoff is going to come in to pitch for the Phils. Chevrolet dealers. Head by W.B. Mason. Who bought W.B. Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Here in New York, the Mets lead at 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. This is Wednesday postgame. Jared Eichhoff throwing a bullpen session after he didn't get in the series against the Marlins. Activated during that series and just itching to try to get into a game. This year so far, 3 teams in the minor leagues: Clearwater, Reading, and Lehigh Valley. He was 0-1 with a 2.90 earned run average. A 3.87 career ERA. Now last year he was injured some. He still made 24 starts. He was 4-8 with a 4.71 earned run average. The year before, when the Phillies were not a very good team at all, he won 11 games, but his ERA was 3.65.
Very respectable.
Yeah, I mean, he was thought to be a piece to this rotation until the injuries. That's the key pitch right there, John, that fastball, because he's got such a good curve. And that first one's at 90 miles an hour. There's the curve, and it's 0-2.
That's where he'll set with his fastball, 90, 91. He's not going to overpower you, but normally he has very good command of all his pitches, and that's the key when you haven't pitched in the big leagues for that long, is command.
Yes, Syndergaard goes down on strikes, and 1 out. First strikeout for Eichhoff. And here's Ahmed Rosario. Rosario is hitless in 2 at-bats. He is struck out and flied out to center. Swing and a miss. That's a slider. It's his 3rd pitch.
I think if Ahmed Rosario is going to turn into a really, really good player, he'd have to start hitting that breaking ball.
There's no question that since the All-Star break, he has turned toward the positive.
Absolutely.
Down the right field line, out of play on a fastball, and it remains 0-2.
I mean, he pulled a lot of balls in Philly, and we're really shading him the other way. I mean, Nick's only what, 20-30 feet from the right field line.
Yeah, a little deeper than that series earlier this year.
Yeah, see where Nick's playing, and deeper. I mean, they were in here earlier in the season when we played the Mets. Remember, he hit that triple over Nick's head.
2-2 to Rosario. And he fouls a fastball off. And a liner out toward right center field, and that's going to get toward the gap, cut off by Herrera. The throw to second base is off the glove of Cabrera. Well, it'll go down as a double. I think they may have had a chance to get him. It would have had to be a bang bang tag.
Yeah, it would have had to been a quick Javi Baez type tag, but Dubel gets to it quick. He actually made a really good throw. It just
he probably would have got there. I
don't think they would have had him either way, but.
And it may have been that Cabrera was trying to get a quick tag on him.
Yeah, I think he thought that was the only way to get him, and it was. don't know why he let up right there. Ball's in front of you as you're running to first. You don't need the coach for that one to help you.
Here's McNeil, who tripled his last time.
I mean, you gotta like what the Mets are doing. Look, they're out of the race. We all know that. But you gotta love it. You know what? We're gonna give Rosario every chance to prove he can hit the top of the order, and McNeil. And you know, they're both running with this thing. And you know, now you got Jay Bruce, you got some power coming up behind you. Cespedes gets healthy, and you can get these two guys at the top of the order. They get on base for Bruce and Cespedes and Frazier and all that. Not a bad team.
There's a curveball that's going to be in for a base hit. Rosario held up. He'll be held at third. First and third.
Wasn't a very good read by Rosario.
It's a break for the Phillies.
Too late to root for a rainout?
Yeah, I think it's too late. They finally finished the first game of the doubleheader down in Washington.
Good for them.
Yeah, 10-3. Scherzer got the win.
Shocker.
As Conforto takes outside. Meanwhile, in Arizona, the Braves put up 2 in their half of the first inning. Arizona, though, threatening in the bottom of the first. Just missed inside. 2-0. Popped up foul. It's 2-1. For Eichhoff, it's been over a year since his last time on a major league mound. So in this 6-0 game the Phillies are trailing, you take a step back and think about the individual and how frustrating this year has been, how hard he has worked to get back. It is one of the bright spots when somebody works that hard and is able to get back after over a year. 3-1.
Yeah, that's a lot of perseverance. And you think about, you know, one couple weeks you're in Clearwater, a couple weeks you might be Reading, a couple weeks you might be in Lehigh Valley. I mean, you know, then you're back in Philly getting test run and, you know, looking at by the training staff.
Well, the other part of it too, John, is that, I mean, I don't want to overstate it, but this outing is significant from a Phillies standpoint. Why? Well, because Eflin has struggled since the All-Star break. And I'm not saying Eichhoff will take over as the starting pitcher, but he could get a start. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That slider was up, but it fooled Conforto enough for the second out.
Yeah, that didn't have any downward bite. Man, that looked more like a cutter spin.
It did look like a cutter.
Does he throw a cutter?
Nope. Unless he picked it up while he was out.
Might have. I mean, that's what it looked like. Something we have to talk to him about tomorrow.
All right, Jay Bruce has scored 2 runs. He has singled. He's been intentionally walked tonight. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Out toward left field. It's not deep. Coming in is Rhys Hoskins, and he won't get it. A run will score. It's kind of a long dart by Jay Bruce. And it's now 7-0 Mets. I was holding out hope that maybe it wasn't as clear off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, that ball just got in Jay Bruce's kitchen, and like you said, I mean, you know, he's playing him to pull. Well, Rhys is off and deep because he has power. You know, he just drops one in. I mean, Jared made a great pitch. You know, it happens.
Well, now here's Todd Frazier, who hit a 3-run home run his last time up. And a fastball 0-1. Yesterday, Todd Frazier was taking ground balls over at third base with David Wright. We mentioned that last night. As Austin Davis starts to warm up. Today, David Wright played in a simulated game down here on the field. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check swing. Here's Todd Frazier in the 3rd inning, his 3-run home run.
Yeah, slider that didn't slide, Tommy. And you know, this guy's hit a bunch of home runs in his career, and he didn't miss that one, and made it 6-0, and they've since added 1 more on. Things are looking bleak.
3 balls and 1 strike.
Sure, we can't get a rain delay.
I don't think we want a delay.
Out.
Ball's out to center field. Deepest part of the ballpark, and Odubel Herrera, about a step from the track, will make the grab. And the inning is over. But another run scores for the Mets. They score a run on 3 hits. We'll head to the 5th inning. Top of the order is due up for the Phils when we get back. The Marlins are in town at 7:05. Go to Phillies.com/theme nights to order tickets, and you'll receive a Fanatic mask. That's right. Come dressed as in one of your favorite costumes. Maybe even dressed like the Fanatic, and you'll have a mask to go with it. Again, Phillies.com/theme nights. Phillies having a scary night tonight, down 7-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. As Syndergaard
I think DeGrom's sitting there thinking, they were scored 7 for me.
That's a good question. Because the starters, the run support that the Mets starters have received this year is 13th in the National League.
There's only 15 teams, Tom.
That's right. I'm sorry, it's now 12th. 12th.
Could move up after this one. Huh?
Philly starters are 9th. Fouled away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carlos Santana. Carlos singled his last time up, then grounded out to the pitcher his first time. Ground ball again. McNeil has it and throws across his body. And 1 out. It's a nice play.
Yeah, it really is. Good strong arm too. You know, with his body going towards center field. I tell you what, I'm nothing but impressed with this young man. You know, Tom, that's all core strength. That's how you make that throw across your body.
Is that what it is?
Well, I've been told. But it was a great play by McNeil.
That's what you said too. He had a lot on it.
Yeah, good exit velo out of his hand.
First pitch on the outside corner to Justin Bour. Bour is 0 for 2 tonight. Down the left field line, that'll go foul. In the dirt, 1-2. Bouncer back toward the middle, and Todd Frazier grabs it and makes the play over to first. Is that core strength also?
Yeah, a little bit. He didn't have as much on it as McNeil did. That's still a good play by the veteran. There it is. See how the core strength, torque on that midsection, Tom? You get that every night at dinner. Torque on the midsection.
One ball and no strikes to Wilson Ramos. And a ground ball to shortstop. That's just flat speed right there, John.
And torque.
And torque. Core strength. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning here in New York. Earlier today, this is David Wright in that simulated game that we mentioned. That's the one ball that he hit out of the ballpark, and there were a lot of eyes on him, not only from the New York media, but also from the New York Mets front office. He was taking ground balls over third base. One of the biggest things that was noticeable was the way he threw from third base to second base. Jeff Wilpon, one of the owners of the New York Mets, talking with Jay Horowitz, and then David meeting with the members of the media, then collected all of his equipment before he headed inside. I talked to him right after that, and he seemed somewhat optimistic that after Tuesday he may get a chance to be back in uniform. He said that's what his goal is, to be back in uniform and to play a little baseball, as he said before he walked off to get himself cleaned up before the tarp was put on the field. So is there optimism? I don't know if it's optimism from a New York Mets standpoint, but that's a guy who was basically had the prime of his career taken out because of injuries. The Mets owe him a lot of money, and there's a lot of business considerations to think about too, John, because if he comes back, you know, every team that has these long-term contracts, and his deal was 8 years, there's insurance on those deals. Yep. So how much money will the Mets get back in insurance if they bring David Wright back for the last 2 weeks of this year, just to kind of do a tip of the cap and see if he's healthy enough to play?
Yeah, that's the toughest thing too. The guy that's been the face of your organization for so many years, the captain. You know, what do you do? Like, you know, you understand the sentiment, the sentimental part of it all is, you know, we'd love to see him back out there. I'm sure the fans would love to see him back out there, even if it were just one more game.
Yes.
But if he plays one more game, you know, insurance doesn't kick in. Now all of a sudden it's the Mets are on the hook for the remainder of his salary, which
and what he's already missed because of the injuries.
Yeah, so it's
he seems pretty active right now in the dugout. He's always been, as you said, the captain while he's played with the New York Mets. But I thought there was a sense of optimism down on the field for one of the former young stars of the National League East. And Murph, it seemed like there was optimism all around the clubhouse about it.
Yeah, Tom, you used the word somewhat optimistic, and I think that's pretty much the way that Mickey Callaway and I think some of the members of the front office that addressed it today felt as well. They're somewhat optimistic. I think, you know, to a man, certainly everyone in that dugout and in the front office and the coaching staff would love to see David Wright back out in a Mets uniform out on the field. Mickey Callaway talked today about just what a classy guy he is. Now, you know, he's never played officially for him, but he said, you know, just being around him since he has gotten the job here in New York, you just can tell that he's the kind of guy that you want on your bench in your clubhouse at all times. And they talked a little bit about what they were able to see today, and they said really good footwork out there at third base. They liked the way he looked in the field. You mentioned the throwing, maybe not 100% there, and his timing at the plate probably still needs some work as well. But as you mentioned, Tuesday they're going to give him another chance at a simulated game, and then the decisions have to be made. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to be able to get him back on the field in uniform, because as you guys just pointed out, there's a lot that has to go into it.
I asked him after he was done, I said, did you feel good out there? He said, well, I've got to hit more balls that way, and he pointed toward right center field, instead of that way, and he pointed behind home plate. So as Murph said, there was some timing issues. 1 ball, no strikes to Dominic Smith. There's a bouncer right side. They should get the runner at second. They do. And Santana won't be able to throw out Smith at first. So the Phillies get the lead runner. That's 4-5 on the putout at second base. And a fielder's choice, and Tomas Nido up against Austin Davis, who's on in relief of Jared Eichhoff. See Austin taking a peek at the cheat sheet in his back pocket, which is now.
It is legal.
It is legal and allowed.
As long as it's not written on sandpaper or an emery board.
Right.
Good to go.
Up top to Nido. Fly ball short right center field. I mean, really short right center field. And Cesar puts it away for the second out. And here's Syndergaard.
Got to be disappointed in his offensive performance tonight.
Let's hope he keeps lamenting it and takes it out onto the field with him.
It affects his pitching.
0-2. What can you say about Eichhoff, John?
You know, again, he made a great pitch to Bruce. He hits that little jam shot blooper that nothing you can do about it. But I thought he was, you know, the thing is with a guy that's been injured that long, his command, and his command was really good.
Yeah, and velocity topped off at 92 with his fastball, and that's a good sign as well. We go to the 6th inning. The Phillies down 7-0. Philly of the week only stepped into a Phil's uniform for the first time August 15th, but his contributions thus far have paid off. Matt Klentak acquired the 31-year-old All-Star Wilson Ramos to add much-needed offense to the Phil's lineup, and that he has done. In his first 14 games with the Phils, Wilson batted .362 with 8 extra base hits and 9 runs batted in. His bat and contributions have been a major plus. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, back here at Citi Field, Wilson Ramos does have a base hit in today's ball game and a walk for the Phillies. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot else the Phillies have been able to manage. They trail at 7-0 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. As Syndergaard will face Rhys Hoskins, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Nick Williams. All right, so the Phillies losing here, trailing here. Washington won game 1 of its day-night doubleheader. You have to keep including them in the conversation. Jack Reinheimer's in left field for Dominic Smith, who looked like he did something to his oblique. At least that's where it seemed like he was pointing to when the trainers were looking at him. And the Atlanta Braves lead the Arizona Diamondbacks 2-1. So the Phillies, who are 2.5 games out, hope for a Diamondback comeback. I mean, it's only 2-1 in the 2nd inning. And Noah Syndergaard will go to work against Rhys Hoskins, who was 0 for 1 with a walk. And a fastball, and it's 0-1.
As Rhys outlines keeping the stash, he goes, I got to keep it another day, don't I? So absolutely. And Andrew Knapp was sitting there, and they were going over.
Because Andrew's got the stash now.
He had to. He does, but he had a major stash last year. I mean, that baby was right out of the 70s.
I would think it's going to take Rhys a little while to get his going. No balls at 2 strikes to Hoskins. Ball's popped up foul and out of play. And Andrew Knapp was telling me today, you know, we've been talking about when they get on base, when they do that.
Yeah.
He said it's snapping of the fingers. He said it's not the money sign, it's snapping of the fingers. He said they just came up with it one night on the bus because something happened and nobody was paying attention to somebody, so they snapped their fingers, and that's where it basically came from. There's one hit out toward left center field. Going back is Reinheimer. It's gone. A home run for Rhys Hoskins, his 29th of the year. The Phillies are on the board. It's now a 7-1 ball game. He's never going to lose that mustache.
Stash is staying, baby. Tell you what, though, another good sign for the Phillies. You know, they're a little two-seamer that, and you know that's the pitch that they've been trying to get with Rhys. That pitch in, and it just didn't quite get in enough. But you see how quick he got out in front of that one.
Yep.
And short. He's been really long lately on that pitch in, and that one he stayed nice and short. And line drive out of here, man. It's beautiful swing.
Yeah, see Chris Truby, who put his index finger across the mustache area as Asdrubal Cabrera hits one to right field that Conforto misplays, and he's going to get to second base. It'll be a base hit and probably an E9. We'll see how the official score. Jack O'Connell calls it. There's the stash. Murph, what did Andrew Knapp say about the mustache?
Well, I saw Andrew today in the hotel, so I figured, you know, when you're talking about mustaches, you've got to talk to a mustache aficionado, and that is indeed Andrew Knapp. We remember the stash that he was rocking most of last year. So I said, what'd you think of Rhys's, you know, his effort as we take a look at the two stashes? And he said, well, let's be honest, he has got a long way to go, but it's a good start. He said he was pleased to see him attempting to grow the stash. And he said, remember, you know, there's power in the stash. This is what Andrew said. There's power in the stash. And we saw a little power last night. We saw a little power tonight. So maybe there's power in the stash.
Power in the stash.
I wish I'd have known.
You would have grown a mustache? You did have kind of a beard.
I didn't like shaving. Didn't like it or too lazy to do it. There's a fine line, Tom.
0-1 to Nick Williams with a runner at second base. A double for Asdrubal Cabrera. Ground ball back toward the middle. Rosario will go to first. 6-3 on the putout. And Cesar is coming up.
Get a run here, make it 7-2. You know, talk about the Mets bullpen. Who knows? I noticed Gabe was in his little scrum with the media before the game with Scruffy, and now he's clean shaven.
I thought he would keep it because he had it yesterday, the scruff. Slow bouncer to the right side.
He's safe.
And Cesar is going to beat it. A run will score. It's an infield hit. It's now 7-2.
3 hits for Cesar too, which is nice.
Hey, let's if you're the Phillies, let's make this interesting.
Well, I first pitch, Cesar, go. I mean, he just got jammed, and you see Syndergaard really got no jump off the mound. I don't know what the thought was there. I don't know if he thought Jay Bruce was going to take it himself, but you know, hey, take it. Now steal. Odubel gets a hit. 7-3.
Hey, you got a 4-run game going into the back end of the ball game.
Yeah, because you know they're going to pinch hit someone. Miguel Franco is coming up the steps of the dugout to the on-deck circle, so it's going to be him. But you know, I like to see. I don't care if it's 7-2. You run. You know, you talked about the one weakness of Noah Syndergaard is holding runners.
Adebry Ramos warming up. See the rain falling. It's been raining the whole game, but not that hard. On a cool night here in New York. Change up, and it's low. 1-1. Change up this time worked. It's 1-2. Adam Morgan starting to loosen up in the bullpen for the Phillies. By the way, it's raining again in D.C. Game 2 is delayed.
Hate to see that, Tom.
Joe Madden was upset last night. How upset do you think he is tonight?
What was he upset about last night?
Well, because they waited until 11:30. It stopped raining. They thought they'd start playing again, and they canceled the game. Three balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. And Odubel fouls it right past Franco. Almost had a Charlie Blackmon situation. Blackmon got hit in the head on the Trevor Story foul ball the other day. Inside, ball 4. And a flip of the bat by Odubel. And that'll put runners on first and second for Maikel Franco. And Dave Island is coming out. Syndergaard has walked a season high 5 hitters. This is the best bat flip after a walk you'll ever see.
Hey, he understands the deal, man. Get on base. Franco hit one in a gap or hit one over the fence. We got us a game. Base hit, we got us a game.
Yeah, I think if you just keep it going.
Yes. Still would have liked to see Cesar
swipe a bag
at some point, but he knew Odubel was going to walk.
All right, so Maikel Franco will pinch hit. Cesar's at second. Herrera is at first. So the Phillies with good speed. The Mets in the outfield will play Franco to pull in left, to go the other way slightly in center.
It makes sense.
You give that entire left center field gap to Maikel Franco. And a broken back ground ball to shortstop. That's going to wind up being 2. So a 6-4-3 double play. 3rd double play of the night for Syndergaard. And that certainly has helped his cause. The Phillies leave 1. They get 2. We'll move on to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Mets 7 and the Phillies 2. to you by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Here at Citi Field, game 2 of a 3-game series. Tomorrow it'll be Vince Velasquez against Jacob deGrom. Tonight, Noah Syndergaard hasn't been great, but his offense has given him 7 runs, so he leads at 7-2. And as he sits in the dugout and watches, Adebray Ramos will come on to pitch for the Phils.
And you wonder, with the lefties coming up after Rosario, McNeil, Conforto, Jay Bruce, you wonder if Adebray has just one hitter in him, with Adam Morgan still warming up.
Yeah, Morgan is in the pen. The Mets bullpen is quiet right now. They may get somebody up and just take their 6 innings. There's a ground ball to second base.
1 pitch outing for Ramos.
That's pretty easy.
Yep, here comes Gabe.
And Gabe Kapler is walking up the stairs. So a third of an inning for Ramos.
Very effective, Tom, in that third of an inning.
He's probably thinking, I got loose for that. So pitching change. Adam Morgan will be coming in. The Phils down by 5 here in the 6th. Minor league report. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phillies. Well, the Rail Riders just tied the game up in the top of the 9th inning. Ranger Suarez went 5 2/3, allowed 1 earned run for Lehigh Valley. So it's tied at 2 in the top of the 9th. We'll keep you updated as that one goes on. If Scranton wins, they advance. If Lehigh Valley wins, then there's a decisive game 5 tomorrow in Allentown. Adam Morgan coming on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Adebray, but probably doesn't need to towel off. It's 1 pitch.
1 pitch. McNeil is fouled. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. McNeil is 2 for 3 in this game, 3 for 7 in the series. And a line drive base hit to left center field. He's 3 for 4.
Tell you what, this man can hit, man. Very impressive.
Here's Conforto up, so the second lefty. Well, he really stayed in there, though, against the left-hander.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, the first pitch, Adam threw a fastball in for a ball. Then he threw a slider, and he had a really good swing at the slider. And then that third pitch, was that another slider? Whatever it was, he hit a rope.
0-1 to Conforto.
Was a fastball.
Yeah, PitchCast is saying it was a fastball. That's a slider up, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike. Conforto tonight is 0 for 3, 0 for 7 in the series. That's going to be out toward right field. It'll drop for a hit. McNeil read it beautifully. He's on his way to third, and he'll get there easily. First and third with 1 out. And now Jay Bruce, another lefty.
I'll tell you what, man, McNeil. I mean, it just gets more and more impressive everything he does.
I think the thing that's standing out is that he's, I think you've said this before, he's just taking advantage of every opportunity.
Yeah, the last thing he wants to hear in the offseason that the Mets are looking for a second baseman. And I mean, this is great base running. You know, ball leaves the bat of Conforto. He's off to the races. Probably didn't need to slide into third, but he had to stop it somehow.
Ball gets away from Ramos just a little bit.
Well, I'm surprised Conforto didn't take off. I mean, you got to try to make Ramos make a throw there, right?
Yeah, because McNeil was already a quarter of the way down the line. Swing and a miss, 1-1. One and two. Well, in Minnesota, we talked about this. Jorge Lopez for the Royals, excuse me, is perfect against the Twins.
Interesting how with 2 strikes now the infield has come in.
Is it the thought that he'll be defensive and may not get a good swing?
Apparently.
Inside 3-2.
Well, this is Adams' inning. Ain't no one warming up in the bullpen. I know you got the one righty in between all these lefties and Frazier. Got to get this one first.
Check swing, ball 4. Bases are now loaded. And that'll bring Todd Frazier up. Frazier had a grand slam the other day. He already has a 3-run home run in this ball game. Phillies have the infield in. Right side is wide open. Bohr is the only one there, and a pitch up high. It's 1-0.
guess if it's hard hit to Cesar, he's just going to take it to the base himself and turn 2, right?
Yes. Statcast AI powered by AWS shows where they are.
Everyone else is coming home, no doubt about it. But with Cesar being deeper, you know, if Frazier doesn't run great, you get the force at second, throw to first, and hopefully get out of this inning. But Adam needs to throw a strike here.
You have to be on your toes because it is 2-0. Fly ball right field. It's not deep. Williams comes running in. McNeil tags from third. He's coming home. The throw to the plate is too late. A sac fly, 4 RBIs for Frazier. 8-2 New York. Boy, I really thought that Williams had a chance there.
Yeah, it wasn't very deep, but you know, again, this kid runs well. I mean, Nick did everything he could. You know, he got behind the ball, caught it coming in, and made a pretty strong throw. And McNeil was just, I mean, didn't even make it a close play. We couldn't get that shutdown inning. Now let's get out of it with only giving them 1.
And Nimmo bounces it foul toward the on-deck circle past Reinheimer. Really, the tough part was the 3 lefties, the 2 hits and the walk. Adam, his last several outings, has really had a nice slider. I mean, it's been effective against righties and lefties. Tonight, it was just a little up and outside. 0-2 pitch lined up the middle, base hit. A run will score. 9-2. Mets on top. Nimmo with an RBI single. That's what we were talking about, John. It was just hanging up just a little too much.
I don't know what Gabe's. I guess he's telling Ramo, go talk to him. Yeah, Tom, that's just a, you know, sometimes you got to count your blessings. He only hit a single, and that was one of them. That was a hanger. But again, these lefties for the Mets, Nimmo and McNeil, they stay in pretty good on lefties.
Well, they've got Luis Garcia starting to warm up in the bullpen. Jack Reinheimer loosening up to bat for the first time. Jim Gott is saying that Garcia is ready.
Yeah, and they're coming out now. And
well, he got up and got ready fast.
Wow,
didn't he?
yeah.
All right, so a pitching change as Gabe is out. That'll be it for Adam Morgan. Morgan gets a third of an inning. And Luis Garcia is coming in. So a pitching change here at Citi Field. The Phils down 9-2 to the Mets. position by position and give their opinion on what the 2019 starting lineup will look like. It's informative, hardcore Phillies talk like no other. Listen on our website or wherever you get your podcasts. Luis Garcia will take over.
Yeah, he just started warming up, and I saw Jim Gott running down so he can get to where the little plexiglass is to tip his hat to the dugout to say he's ready. I'm like, man, he didn't throw that many pitches.
It's almost as if Jim was running down to step on the stage to give an award or something. No balls and 1 strike to Reinheimer. Came on for Dominic Smith, who we're told left with a left groin injury. So we get a miss. 0-2. I don't think he was expecting slider.
I believe I'd throw him in the other one.
Yes.
Just to see if he's made the adjustment yet.
So we get a miss. He did not make the adjustment. That was a little crisper slider. The inning is over, but the Mets add 2 more runs. They do so with 3 hits. We go to the 7th inning. It's now 9-2 in favor of the Mets. Our Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Well, it's been all Mets. 3 runs in the second, 3 in the third. They got a 3-run home run by Todd Frazier, who has 4 RBIs tonight. He's done for the evening. And Noah Syndergaard, he hasn't been great. He's walked 5. He's allowed 7 hits, but he's got a comfortable lead. And he will begin the 7th inning and will do so with 83 pitches. And he'll face Carlos Santana, who was 1 for 3. Carlos swings at the first pitch. And Jack Reinheimer, who just came on to play third, will watch this one go back off the roof of the Phillies dugout. He's at third. Michael Conforto moves from right field to left field. And Austin Jackson comes in to play center. That moves Nimmo over to right. There's Reinheimer. And then the outfield is aligned a little differently with Jackson in center. One ball, 1 strike to Santana.
9-2. The Mets are going defense right now, Tom. Yeah, I don't think there's, you know, granted he's pitched 6 innings, only given up 2 runs, but I don't think Syndergaard can be very happy with this performance. What, 5 walks?
5 walks, season high. And now it's 3-1. Yeah, he's allowed 12 base runners. If you get 12 base runners against Syndergaard, you're usually feeling pretty good. Now, to his credit, he's gotten 3 double plays. One of them was hit really hard.
Lucky one.
There's another base hit for Santana. That's his 2nd of the night. Time now for the Ram Truck Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, John, the question was, who led the 1986 World Champion Mets in hits, doubles, and runs scored?
Well, he just came in to pay us a visit.
He did.
That would be Keith Hernandez.
Keith Hernandez is correct. 171 hits, 34 doubles, 94 runs scored. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
He'd have a lot more than that.
You'd figure he'd have over 100 runs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, 34 is a lot of doubles, but you thought maybe close to 40? Closer to 40?
Yeah.
There he is.
But he probably won a Gold Glove.
What's up with the stage managers
I have
tonight?
no idea.
I know that's the giveaway.
No, that must be.
Russ is wearing that. Our guy Bob Anderson. You never know what he's going to do. He's kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
It must be Sud Saturday or something.
Bob's got some kind of blonde wig on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss to Bohr. It's 1-2. There's Bob. He didn't get much sleep last night. The train to New Jersey kept him on the rails till 4:30.
4:30.
Yep.
And then he said he had errands to run. Man, cancel the errands. Get some sleep. We need you. Right now, you're stinking the joint up.
1-2. That's really harsh.
I have to take my frustrations out on someone, Tom.
Update from Minnesota. Wow, Jorge Lopez still perfect. We're in the top of the 9th inning.
Hope he's not on a pitch count.
Well, that's a good point. He's at 100 pitches, John. That is a foul ball as Bruce was trying to play a little coy with the first base umpire, Will Little.
He's looking in the dugout like, can you check this one? And I think the answer is no, right? Because it didn't go past first base.
Now, Mickey Callaway is saying that it should be the home plate umpire's call, and Mark Carlson said, I agree.
Yeah, but if it's the first base umpire's call, then they're deeming that it went past the base, right?
Yes.
Didn't go past the base, though. So all the confusion's over.
That one's a little clearer. Jose David Flores using his feet. Popped up. Nito is back and it's out of play. It'll remain 1-2 to Bohr. There's pull down the right field line. That'll be in for a base hit. Santana will get to third. And Justin Bohr has put runners on first and third with nobody out here in the 7th inning. All right, the bullpen's going to stir now for the Mets.
Tell you what, that's the first at bat I've seen Justin Bohr since he's gotten off the disabled list that he swung the bat like he was not afraid to hurt himself. I mean, he was very aggressive in his swings. I mean, how many balls have we seen him hit the other way on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
And that, I mean, he just looked like he was more aggressive with his swing. Granted, he got a hanger, hit it off the end of the bat a little bit, but in a good spot.
There's Wilson Ramos, who is 1 for 2. And a line drive out to center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Santana scores, Bourne a second RBI for Ramos. And it's now 9-3. And quite honestly, those 2 runs the Mets scored in the bottom of the 6th inning, those are big runs right now.
Yes, they are. And Reese has already got 1 home run. He pops 1 here. It's 9-6. Jerry Blevins, a very funny man out there warming up. The lefty. Wasn't sure who was a righty. Gesellman?
Yeah. Gesellman, Lugo have been their right-handed mainstays out of the pen. Way inside, 1-0.
Yeah, he wasn't going to leave one out over the plate for him this time.
I mean, John, 10 hits, 5 walks, and you're losing 9-3.
Yeah, and 1 stolen base. I mean, usually you have that many runners on base, you would think that the steal would come into play. Of course, when you're down by a bunch of runs early, it's tough to send a guy. I understand that.
Ooh, that's a pitcher's pitch. Struggling pitcher getting a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Hoskins in the 6th inning.
Sounded good all 3 times, didn't it?
Sure did, yep. The home run for Hoskins is 29th on the year. Inside, 2-1.
Fastball in, slider away. Fastball in.
Slider away.
I would think.
Didn't go away, but it was a slider, and it's 2-2.
Now you wonder if he'll double up on it. I mean, it's so hard. A guy throwing that hard and he runs you in off the plate. It's hard to dive out there and try to get a slider away and hit it the other way.
Swing and a miss. Well, that was the changeup. And 1 out here in the 7th inning.
Just great location and 2 strikes. You can say, oh, he swung at a bad pitch. Well, he did, but it's the pitches that lead up to that pitch why you become more aggressive.
Cabrera lines 1 into center field, a base hit. Boers to 3rd. They're going to hold him there, so the bases are now loaded for Nick Williams. Now I think Blevins is coming in. No, they're going to let him stay in. Williams was up with the bases loaded in the 3rd and flying out to right field. Now he got a slider to start that at bat.
Got Altera. I saw Altera walking down by the bat rack in case they did bring in Blevins. Maybe that's why. Nick hasn't swung the bat that well today against Syndergaard. No, Aaron's first at bat against a lefty, and Steven Match yesterday hit a double in the gap. So Mickey Callaway feels, or maybe a tired Syndergaard's a better matchup against Nick Williams than a
good point.
Jerry Blevins fresh against Aaron Altair.
One ball and no strikes. Williams fouls it away. He's a little frustrated that he missed that pitch.
Yeah, normally against good pitchers you only get one, but you know you keep talking about how many base runners we've had against Syndergaard, and only the 3 runs.
Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and one. Broken bat floater out towards shallow left field. Rosario is there and he makes the catch. There was no infield fly rule called. 2 outs. And here comes Cesar Hernandez.
Cesar with 3 hits tonight, so maybe 1 in a gap. Take that.
There's some of the bat from Nick Williams that Cesar just handed to the home plate umpire. And a line drive off Syndergaard. Oh, man. A run scores. It's an RBI single, and that went right off his rib cage. Wow. It's a 4-hit night for Cesar Hernandez. The exit velocity was 104 miles an hour, and Syndergaard will check out. We'll get a standing ovation after allowing 12 hits, walking 5, and he leaves with the score 9-4, and the bases are loaded.
That thing got him square in the ribs, and I mean that's a big strong man, and he went down. Now you wonder if Aaron Altair might hit for Odubel now with Jerry Blevins coming in the game, but man, this thing, man.
Well, a pitching change. The bases are loaded. The Phil's down 5. We'll be back right after this. So Jay Bruce is out. I thought maybe he'd go to the outfield.
Wow. Interesting.
Jerry Blevins is in. The Phillies will counter with Jose Bautista to pinch hit for Odubel Herrera. Aaron Altair is on deck. Now he's up to, or is on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher. The bases loaded. The Mets up 9-4. And a first pitch outside, 1-0. Breaking ball, 2-0. You got to let him throw a strike, don't you? No?
No, he throws a fastball right here.
Well, that's true.
Try to make this baby 9-8, but don't get cheated and don't miss it.
There's that fastball, and it's 2-1.
You know, I think with a guy like Blevins, there's no guarantee you're going to get another one.
Right. No, you're right about that. Bautista against the Mets this year, who he played for, takes a breaking ball, 2-2. It just got the outside part of the plate. Or did it?
No, not even close.
And now a meeting on the mound.
Have you ever seen a, I know they got a big lead, and they still have a big lead, let's be honest, but have you ever seen a manager take your 4 and 5 hitter out?
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he took Bruce out there. Now he already took Frazier out, but I'm surprised he took both out. After the meeting, the count 2-2. The pitch to Bautista, outside, 3-2. You know, if you're Bautista, I think it was hard to hold up on that swing. Just because of the last pitch.
Yeah, I think what we saw the last pitch, that might even have been a little closer.
So now 3-2. The runners will be off. And they turn back at Cabrera at second base.
Come on, Jerry. He's a veteran out there. He ain't falling for that. When are they going to outlaw that thing? Like, if that's not deceiving the runner. Come on.
Runners do go. 3-2 fouled away. Well, the perfect game is gone. Max Kepler walks in the bottom of the 9th inning, but the no-hitter is still intact. Robbie Grossman is up. Jorge Lopez, the 25-year-old from Puerto Rico, pitching for the Royals. Again, the 3-2 pitch to Bautista. Fouls it back. You got a pitch to hit.
Oh, right in the wrist. That's a good swing by Jose, but that little follow through got Nito right in the wrist. The only thing, it's not guarded on him.
He's got that strap for his batting glove, but that's it. All right, so 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for a third time with the bases loaded. The runners take off, and the pitch is swung on and missed. He went after a high fastball, and the inning is over. The Phils do get 2, but they leave them loaded for a second time tonight. It's time to stretch. The Mets lead the Phillies 9-4. Aaron Nola, located in sections 108 and 109 at Citizens Bank Park. Now, don't miss Nola's next scheduled start, which will be Wednesday against the Washington Nationals. Your game ticket in sections 108 and 109 includes an exclusive Nola t-shirt and Mardi Gras beads. Purchase your tickets now at Phillies.com/French Quarter. Aaron picked up the win last night. The other Aaron Altair, is on to play center field. Phillies make a double switch, so Altair will lead off going to the top of the 8th inning. And Victor Arano will take over on the mound.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, the score is 9-4. Is that what it is? 9 to
4, and the Phillies have had so many chances.
Man, we've had a ton of people on base.
Phillies have left 10 so far. The bases loaded twice. Syndergaard goes 6 2/3, 12 hits. You know, was 1 for 3 and a 3-run double his first time up. It's 0-2. Well, in Lehigh Valley, some bad news. The Rail Riders have won it 7-2. Bruce Caldwell hit a grand slam in the 10th inning. Well, congratulations to Gary Jones and his coaching staff and the Iron Pigs. They had one heck of a year. It was a record-setting year for the Iron Pigs, winning their first division and just picking up one win after another. It was a great year attendance-wise in Lehigh Valley. Kurt Landis and his crew, they did a fantastic job. As that pitch upstairs, 1-2. But the Iron Pigs season comes to a close. One ball and 2 strikes as Arano facing his first hitter here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Swing and a miss. He got him on the slider. 9 strikeouts tonight for Phillies pitching. Actually make that 10.
Yeah, I mean, you go up and in, knock the guy off the plate a little bit, and then you go with that slider down and away. I mean, he didn't miss that by a lot, Tom. He missed that by a whole lot.
Wilmer Flores takes a strike. Every time a Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 miles per hour or more, just as Arano just did, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. 1-1 pitch. Slider in there, 1-2. Flores has had a good year. 271 with 11 home runs, 50 runs batted in. He doesn't play every day.
He doesn't really have a position, does he?
He bounces all over. A chopper out to short. Cabrera with the big hop. Throw is high. Bohr makes the tag. Thankfully, Flores wasn't running that hard. And there are 2 outs. Here's Ahmed Rosario, and he takes on the inside corner 0-1. Ball and 1 strike. That one's fouled back at it's 1-2. Grounder out to shortstop again. Cabrera has it, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll move to the 8th inning. Phillies down by 5. Let's see if they can get to the Mets bullpen. By your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Phillies trail at 9-4 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Time now for a Hyundai defensive plays of the game. And one double play after another for Noah Syndergaard. 12 hits allowed, 5 walks, but he did get some double plays when he needed. This is Maikel Franco pinch hitting. Our Hyundai defensive plays of the game brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. They had a third one, a line drive off the bat that caught Cesar Hernandez, off the bat of Odubel Herrera that caught Cesar Hernandez. Altair leads it off. 1 ball, 1 strike to Aaron.
Did I miss anything?
We just did our Hyundai defensive plays of the game.
Oh, man. Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers, by the way.
Nice going, John.
Thank you.
Altair hits it right on the nose. Austin Jackson is there.
All right, good swing, though, by Aaron.
He's had 2 of those now since being brought back up. And now Carlos Santana, who's had a good night. Santana's 2 for 4. Luis Avilan warming up in the bullpen. Breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
He hadn't really gotten that. I mean, he got a call against Batista with the breaking ball. It wasn't a strike, but he hasn't been able to command any of his off-speed pitches, has he? Except that one.
Two balls, two strikes to Santana. And he fouls it away, stays alive. Sounds like somebody made a good catch.
You can't see it, but that big overhang in front of it.
Yeah. Ball's popped up, foul territory. It's a long run for everybody. Flores coming over and makes the catch. I think he thought he had a slide at first. And 2 outs. Bohr's going to be brought back. The Phillies will send Andrew Knapp to pinch hit. So Knapp will bat right-handed. Knapp hitting .216, 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Phillies down 9-4. Braves and the Diamondbacks are tied at 2 in the 6th inning. First pitch outside, 1-0.
Interesting decision, huh?
No, I think they. I mean, Bohr has faced Blevins a lot, but I just think that they are not comfortable with him against lefties on a consistent basis. I always thought watching him that he hit lefties okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not earth-shattering, but okay. Balls, no strikes. One thing about Knapp, I mean, it's a lot like Bohr. He can work a count. Bohr sees about 4 pitches per AB. Andrew's up in that neighborhood as well.
Well, he's going to see at least 4 in this one. And I'm assuming he ain't swinging, so he probably will see at least 5.
And there's ball 4. So he works the walkout with 2 outs. And Wilson Ramos is waiting for Mickey Callaway, and Callaway's coming out to make a double switch. So the runner at first, the Phillies down 9-4. The Mets will bring in a right-hander to face Wilson Ramos. Gesellman was warming up. And it will be Robert Gesellman who will be the new pitcher. 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. We'll be back right after this. To make your way to Citizens Bank Park as the pennant race heats up. Mark your calendar as the season concludes with the Atlanta Braves in town for the final series, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. All right, so the double switch as Jose Reyes taking over at third base for Jack Reinheimer. And Robert Gesellman. Gesellman has been good for the Mets. He'll take over out on the mounds. By the way, the Braves had bases loaded in the top of the sixth inning with one out, and they didn't score. So it remains 2-2 in the bottom of the sixth inning out in Arizona. See Gesellman's numbers. There you go. And you see the rain has been falling throughout the course of this game. Not that hard.
That game might be over 4 hours.
Does seem like it's moving at a pretty good pace.
Hours?
No, that one. No, John, not hours.
You started drinking without me.
Ramos takes a fastball, and it's 0-1. Ramos' average overall is up to 311. That one's out toward right. It's not deep. And Nimmo makes the call on the grab, and that'll wrap up the 8th inning for the Phils. No runs, no hits. And one man left. The Phillies have left 11 through 8. We'll go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. For 2019 season ticket plan. By placing a deposit, you will be able to secure your plan and seat location prior to the official on-sale date. Now, this is for new accounts only. For more information, visit Phillies.com/season deposits or call 215-463-5000. We got some changes for the Phils. Carlos Santana moves from third over to first, as Drupal Cabrera moves from shortstop over to third base. Scott Kingery is the new shortstop. There's Scotty. And Luis Avilan is the new pitcher for the Phils. All right, Jeff McNeil will lead it off against Avilan. McNeil has 3 hits tonight. Both teams have reached double digits in hits. The Phillies have 12. The Mets have 10. The problem for the Phils is that just about all of them are singles.
Yeah, for a team that scores a majority of their runs via the home run ball. I know Reese got one today, but we have hit a lot of singles.
Yeah, Ramos, Wilson Ramos has a double. First pitch is inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball right side. Nice play all the way around. 3-1 on the putout. PFP's coming into play there. Michael Conforto. That's a big curve. I mean, that's 65 miles an hour, and it's 0-1.
It almost looked like he tripped on the mound and just threw it.
No question. I mean, look how big this is. Inside.
Throw it again.
Curve ball hit in the air to right field. That's pretty deep. Williams going back toward the fence, and it is gone. (10-4) New York. #12th home run for Conforto against the Phillies in his career. Has not been a long career.
No, it has not. But again, you know, Avilan tried that slow breaking ball again, and Conforto was waiting on it. Just nice and easy, short, compact swing, and that ball traveled good distances.
Sure did. Now Reyes batting for the first time. Overall, it's 22 home runs for Conforto. One and one. It off, and it's 2-2. Reaches out and pops it up in the foul territory off the third base bag. And he Cabrera in foul territory, reels it in for the second out. 2 outs, a run in. Let's check in with Murph with the Major League Notebook.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Brought to you by the University of Maryland, University College. Mike Trout having himself a game in Chicago tonight. First 2 at-bats, he does, well, what he does best. Home runs number 32 and 33 on the season. It's his 14th career multi-home run game, 4th of the year. He has 4 for 4 in that game with 5 RBIs as the Angels are ahead. And speaking of home runs, Chris Davis of the A's, he continues to do it as well. He hits number 41 tonight in their game. He had been in a little bit of a funk. It was his first home run in 14 games, but he hits number 41 tonight. That's best in all of baseball right now. And the A's got a solo shot from Matt Olson late in that game. They end up winning that in Texas 8-6. That's your Major League Notebook presented by the University of Maryland, University College.
And by the way, Lopez from the Kansas City Royals did not throw a no-hitter. He allowed 1 hit. Robbie Grossman got a hit off Jorge Lopez as this ball is hit out to left field, and Hoskins will put it away for the final out. All right, so another run in for the Mets. They lead it 10-4. The Phillies' last chance after Conforto's home run when we come back in the top of the 9th inning. For WB Mason deliveries of the game, we go to the 2nd inning with the bases loaded.
And Tomas Nido, light hitting catcher, but not so light on that swing. Got a slider and hit it down the line for a 3-run double. And then to make matters worse, a 3-run homer by Todd Frazier. And those are our deliveries of the game, brought to you by WB Mason.
And now we begin the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies trail at 10-4. And Gesellman will stay in the ballgame. He'll face Rhys Hoskins. And then as Drupal Cabrera is scheduled up next. Little dribbler up the 3rd base line. That's going to be a base hit for Rhys. That'll be Rhys's 2nd hit of the night. Hit one 400 feet. And then he hit one about 45 feet.
You're being generous. Wouldn't you think one of them should count for more than the other?
Imagine if it ever got to that point.
That's it. Someday soon.
Solo home run.
Someday soon,
runs.
Tommy. I hope I'm out of baseball when that stat comes about.
Here's his Drupal Cabrera. Cabrera takes a fastball and it's 0-1. Popped up down the 3rd base line. Reyes will give it a peek out of play. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Fouled back at it. Remains 0-2. To the right side. And they'll get the trail runner Cabrera as Hoskins goes up to second. Well, a reminder, we'll be back on tomorrow earlier at 1 o'clock on NBC Sports Philadelphia. The big Sunday show gets everything started at 12:30. All right, so it's Jacob deGrom, the Mets Cy Young candidate, and probably, depending on how people look at the Scherzer win tonight and what deGrom's numbers are analytically and then overall, he could be the favorite for the Cy Young, but he'll be opposed by Vince Velasquez. Nick Williams is 0 for 4. He is struck out looking. He's flied out, popped out, and grounded out. It's been a tough night for Nick because he's come up with the bases loaded twice. I thought one of the key at-bats was his at-bat in the third inning. The Phillies were down 3-0, and he came up with the bases loaded. Syndergaard was in a little bit of trouble, got a visit to the mound, and he swung at the first pitch, which was a breaking ball, and flied out to right field. That one's pulled down the right field line, foul. Reminder, after the ball game, Danny Pamels, Tommy Green, and Corey Seidman are standing by on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Post-Game Live. They'll talk about Eflin's rough outing. All the base runners the Phillies left tonight. They've left 11 so far. Some of the bright spots they could talk about. Cesar, who's on deck, he's got 4 hits tonight. Reese has a couple. To the left side, Rosario will not have a play, and Williams will have an infield hit. And first and third with 1 out. All right, so 2 infield hits for the Phillies in this inning.
Huh?
Making it happen.
Barreling it up. Take them how you can get them, though.
John, the Phillies have 14 hits.
How many walks?
6 walks.
Six walks.
14 hits and 6 walks. Cesar takes strike 1. Breaking ball. Out to left field. And Conforto will run it down, tagging from third as Hoskins will score. It's now 10-5. Second RBI for Cesar. It's the best night for Cesar in quite some time.
Yeah, it's something, you know, Reese got a home run, infield single, but a couple hits for him. So at least one thing, you're walking out of this game with, you know, a guy that you kind of need at the top of the order in Cesar.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the guy that you need in the middle of the lineup producing runs down the stretch here is Reese. So, and Santana swung the bat well today.
Yeah, Santana continues his hot hitting. Here's Scott Kingery up for the first time. 0-1 to Scott. Out towards center field. Austin Jackson venturing back. This should do it. And the ball game is over. Phillies get a run of the 9th inning. They leave one. They leave 12 for the night. And they lose it 10-5 to the Mets to even up this series with one more game to go tomorrow afternoon. Well, I mean, this is one of those nights where the Phillies had Noah Syndergaard not at his best, but unfortunately the Phillies starting pitching and in some ways their bullpen was not at its best either. Phillies finished with 14 hits today. Todd Frazier is our Chevrolet player of the game. Hit by pitch, 3-run home run, a sacrifice fly, finished with 4 RBIs. Syndergaard gets the win. He's now 11-3. All right, so for the time being, the Phillies find themselves 3 games out. In the National League East, the Braves game is still going on. We'll be back to New York to wrap it up right after this.